In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you details of a stock with a multi-billion-dollar potential and also a huge 2025 catalyst due any minute now. And for MMTLP, we're going to be looking at details of Fidelity, which are showing a price. I'm going to show you details of that price for a few of the investors later on in the videos. So stay tuned for details of that. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So from Yahoo Finance, we can see the stock market today. The Dow Jones, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq open market were doing quite well, and right now they are going down and they are slipping as earnings is rolling in, and there is a huge Fed decision looming. And we can also see from CNBC the S&P 500 did start to retreat. It did reach a record high, and the rally was very, very positive. So in terms of the Fed decision, that is expected on Wednesday, and we are going to see important information with regard to the interest rate decision. And I think the consensus is it may be unchanged, but however, I think the comments will certainly be important with regard to how the market reacts. So we are well into a huge week of earnings right now. We've had earnings for SoFi, which was a good beat. United Health was not a beat, and I think the important ones we're looking forward to right now include Meta, Microsoft, Hood, Amazon, and also Apple. And what I like to do is give a shout out to one of the stocks that I've covered in the previous video when it was trading well below the $5, ticker symbol GRAB, and earlier today it was up over 6.8% at $5.64. So congratulations to everybody holding on to Grab. And also shout out to the Discord where we talk about a number of stocks and breaking news. So there was breaking news yesterday with regard to Samsung. Another stock we called out yesterday in our weekly watch list that I think has had the best return so far of the year. That is ticker symbol VAPE. And if you followed this, you would have got over a 1000% pre-market return. So VAPE. We've also been calling out AMD. I also featured AMD as in one of my recent videos. So congratulations to everybody who is in AMD, which did break $170. So in terms of other news, what I'd like to share in the previous video, go ahead and check that out. Ticker symbol SER, Serena Therapeutics. Monday it was up over 6%, and today also up over 6%. So check out the video where we talk about some important catalysts. Let's have a look at details of a stock which has got a multi-billion-dollar potential and also some imminent catalysts in 2025. So I'm going to start by sharing with you details of the company profile. This is known as ticker symbol NNVC, NanoViricides. So this is a company which is a clinical stage nanobiopharmaceutical company. It's involved in discovering and developing and commercializing drugs for the treatment of viral infections. So we're going to have a look at some details of the areas they are working on, but we can see here on the headlines in terms of the recent news, we can see the company have discussed the multi-billion-dollar potential of one of its drugs. We've also talked about measles and a drug that they're also involved in. So we will look at that and also in other catalysts that I'm going to share with you. But let's go ahead and have a look at the company website. The investor relations page on the company, we can see this trades on the NYSE under ticker symbol NNVC, NanoViricides, and we can see the company states here there is a new era in targeted antiviral therapeutics. So we can see the company is a globally leading company in the application of nanomedicine to look at complex issues of viral diseases, and they have technology that enables direct attacks at multi-points on a virus particle, and they are all the only leading technology in the world to the best of their knowledge that is capable first of all of attacking extracellular virus and also simultaneously disrupting intercellular production of the virus, enabling obviously complete control of the infection. And we can also see further here in terms of the antiviral therapeutics, they are designed to appear to the virus like the native host cell service to which it binds. So obviously that will certainly make it very, very effective in terms of the versatile platform technology. This is they also believe unmatched in the industry, so obviously potential huge. So from an investor point of view, let's now move on to have a look at the charts. So we can see here of the previous 5 days it's been trading fairly flat, just up over 0.59%, and right now at time of editing trading at $1.70 with a market cap of 27.32 million. So it is a small cap, and any significant change in this will certainly drive the share price up quite significantly. So we can also see here over the previous month up over 21.43%. So the momentum is quite good. And if we have a look at the year to date is also up over 18.88%. At one point, mid-April, there was a chance to get this below the $1 mark, and currently in better momentum at $1.70. So let's move on and have a look at a headline from the Life Science report, and it states here, NanoViricides is discussing the multi-billion-dollar potential of its broad-spectrum drug NV387 and its effectiveness against influenza, coronavirus, RSV, monkeypox, and now measles, and this is going to be expected to drive value for the company. So this is certainly very, very interesting. And if we dig into this article a little bit deeper from July 2025, we can see there is a strong effectiveness of its broad-spectrum antiviral drug against all viruses, and this was tested against to date with driving significant valuation in its portfolio. So the company is further stating that the monkeypox, smallpox, and measles indications of NV387 are expected to enable regulatory developments towards approval and realization of early revenues for multiple pathways. So I think that indicates to me that early revenues for multi-pathways certainly indicates huge potential for the shareholders. So the NV387 has been validated in animal studies, and approvals against the multiple indications are expected to drive an increase in overall market share. Obviously, once the drug is approved, I think then obviously the costs in terms of the availability of it will give a significant return on investment. So the company believes that this is likely to be effective also against Ebola, Marburg viruses, and many other lethal viruses, which is, I think, has so far nobody has been able to do. And in terms of what we can also see here from one of the tweets I'd like to share with you, in terms of this phase 2 trial from Sachs Small Cap Research, it states here, a new antiviral class phase 2 trial for deadly monkeypox, a platform with multi-virus potential, is one to watch. I'm going to share with you now a small snippet of this video.
NanoViricides Inc. is a clinical stage biopharma company developing NanoViricides, a new class of broad-spectrum antiviral drugs. The company plans to begin a phase 2 trial of its lead candidate NV387 in hospitalized Mpox patients in DR Congo in second half of 2025, with results expected in 1Q26. NV387 is designed to overcome key limitations of traditional antivirals, offering reduced susceptibility to resistance, host-independent activity, and multiple delivery methods. There are currently no approved treatments for Mpox. Tecovirimat, a leading candidate, has failed in 2 trials, underscoring the unmet medical need. Successful results in the Mpox trial may help support the potential inclusion of NV387 in the U.S. Strategic National Stockpile.
What I'd now like to draw your attention to is another recent news story from July 2025, and that is with regard to their drug NV387 and its success in animal studies with regard to measles. So let's have a look at details of this success, and we can see in the press release they've stated here that strong antiviral effectiveness against measles was found for NV387. So this could be on the way to becoming the first drug to treat measles. We know that measles cases are skyrocketing globally, and the world badly needs success in this. So certainly there is huge potential. So what I'd now like to have a look at is some research from the Small Caps Research website with regard to NanoViricides, and we can see here they've also stated in their Small Cap Research the company is taking its revolutionary platform to eradicate many respiratory viruses, a single drug that treats RSV, flu, bird flu, long COVID, and even monkeypox, and obviously potentially measles. So in the Small Cap Research, we can see here the lead drug NV387 is potentially addressing a $2.5 billion to $4.3 billion market. It could be a potential cure for RSV, so this is going to meet an unmet need because obviously there is nothing close to that right now, and it's becoming the first drug potentially to treat measles, which we've just seen in the press release. And at the bottom we can see here it's initiating a phase 2 clinical trial to treat treat monkeypox first. And this is certainly important because all the previous clinical trials of the competitors have failed. So this gives a company a great potential to be successful, and the first one to be successful here. And we can see here they go on to say that they have accumulated substantial evidence that in lethal viral infection animal studies, NV387 demonstrated strong antiviral activity against a range of different viral families. So that is certainly promising. In terms of influenza, NV387 was substantially superior to the 3 approved drugs. So again, that's certainly promising from the influenza point of view. And in terms of completely curing a lethal RSV lung virus infection, and remember right now there is no cure for RSV and no approved drug for treatment of this other than the toxin last resort drug ribavirin. And we can see here in terms of the potential, this could be the single drug to treat all of the trimedic viruses, including COVID, RSV, flu, and more, especially when it is approved, because I think that is the huge key there, the approval. So what does this mean for investors? It basically means very large market opportunities for the company, and obviously the benefit will be for any investors who do have shares in the company. So there is a worldwide market size also for COVID-19, and that is expected to grow to in excess of 16.2 billion by 2031. So the potential market size for RSV therapeutics could be 2 billion by 2023. Was 2 billion in 2023 and expected to rise to 8.5 billion by 2031. What I'd now like to share with you is some important catalysts using AI research that I carried out. With regard to N387, we know that there is $1 billion opportunity here, confirmed by research from CNN and also from Bloomberg, and we know about the phase 2 clinical trial for monkeypox is progressing, so we are expecting news on that, and developments could attract investor attention, potentially leading to partnerships and funding for the business, and also further boosting the stock's value, which is what us as investors and our concern will be. So the company does have focus on a diverse pipeline, including treatments for shingles, herpes, dengue, and much more. And the other thing that investors need to know is there was a filing of $150 million mixed shelf offering, and that's already happened. So that is going to provide some financial flexibility to fund the ongoing trials. But what I would like to give you is a summary of the NanoViricides drug pipeline. We can see there are multiple things going on here, but right at the top, the NV387 currently in phase 1, also in phase 2 for the monkeypox and smallpox, are all continuing, hopefully with some positive news. And we also can see here they have NVHHV1 and many more, but I think the big one will be the NV387. In terms of analyst rating history, we can see there is a strong upside here, ranging from 289% to 114%, with a strong buy rated from all the previous analysts who did look at this. And finally, if we have a look at valuation and investment opportunity, as well as risks for investing in this company, obviously you do your own financial research and due diligence, but it is a small cap. We're looking at approximately 28 million small cap. That was as of July 23, 2025. The company does appear, therefore, to be undervalued compared to its potential in the antiviral market. And CoinCodex suggests the stock is trading 9.48% below its forecasted value. So this indicates a potential buying opportunity. So what are the risks? The risks, obviously, it is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company. There is no approval yet in terms of its products. We know the FDA can be a little bit fussy on this, and the success hinges on outcomes of clinical trials and regulatory approvals, but certainly what we have seen so far looks to be very promising. The stock is volatile, and I think it's one of those companies with the high risk, high reward, but I certainly think the potential on this could be huge. And finally, let's have a look at the latest updates for MMTLP. So following on from the previous video, shout out here to Chad, who's reporting on the previous video where we looked at Ralph Norman, and what he did is he kicked out a combat veteran amputee from his meeting, and I think apparently the reason for that was he was going to ask a question with regard to MMTLP. And remember, this veteran amputee did have an invitation, and he was also running for office. And what Chad has also stated is first time one announces a run for governor and loses the same day is a record. So I think there could be some movements now against Ralph Norman. There is some good news I'd like to share with you now also for GNS. So a huge win for Genius Group. They dropped a bullish 6k, and this is positive news. So Florida court ruled that the very same people Genius Group is suing Michael Moe and Peter Ritz, and it's ruled in favour of the company. The court found them liable for fraud, stealing millions from shareholders, including GNS. They've been kicked off the board, banned from re-election, and fired. So this is positive news. The jury trial is now going to decide how much money they owe the shareholders of GNS. The judge stated that they ran a multi-year fraudulent scheme. They tried to delay the case and block with subpoenas, and they lost every time. So the good news here, there are judges here that are obviously on the side of retail, and they say they will be forced to hand over bank records, internal documents exposing everything. So we know that fraud happened, shareholders were harmed in GNS, and the courts are also catching up. So as far as we're concerned, it strengthens the GNS lawsuits, but also helps other victims of financial fraud, including those of MMTLP shareholders. So that is positive, and hopefully it gives encouragement to people taking out any legal action. So what I'd now like to do is give a shout out to one of the viewers on the channel who had it in the comments, Mr. FFL61750, with regard to Fidelity, and he stated he has Fidelity in his account showing for MMTLP, and he obviously is now showing at $2.90. The reason why he's saying this is obviously, first of all, he's never transferred over to what was previously called AST, but what's important is that they are showing a price lower than he bought the stock price at. So he bought it at a higher price than $2.90, but Fidelity seemed to be showing the price at $2.90. So in other words, he paid more. So what is going on? And the question is, are Fidelity trying to pull a fast one in case there is some kind of resolution? And they argue that he has got an average price of $2.90. Certainly looks suspicious. And the Rising Star has also stated he's noticed that as well. Fidelity have put in the trading price in place of the purchase price, and it wasn't by mistake. So I'm not sure why that is going on. Dennis stated his brokers are showing no price, and Sean has also stated that E-Trade are also showing no price. So if you are with Fidelity, go ahead and check out if there is a change or an update in your account with regard to MMTLP. And finally, if you would like to join us in the Discord, get a researcher of stocks as well as our daily stock alerts and weekly watch list, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.